Yo, it's your boy Logos, and today I want to react to Thomas Sowell talk about liberals and how they're so envious of the rich or just other people in general that it really would destroy their own country just to see people like them or not like them suffer. And I see this kind of mentality often, especially along like Antifa, communists, and those type of people that do live in America, and they want a civil war or they just want to uproot the system, and they somehow, some way think that's going to be peaceful, as if a civil war won't happen, as if their family members, the people they care about, won't suffer. They're so angry and vengeful towards people they don't even really know or events that didn't even involve them that they want to destroy America. I think it's really pathetic because oftentimes most of those people, especially Antifa, they don't fight. They, especially not one on one. They don't have guns. If there was a civil war, they're gonna lose. People, we all know who got the guns. We all know the people to truly be afraid of in a war if a civil war happened in America, and that's gun owners. And most of those people is not going to be on the side of Antifa or radicals that want to have a civil war and uproot the government. I understand that the government is corrupt and there is places and people we need to get rid of and change. But it doesn't mean uproot everything. Doesn't mean you get away from capitalism. You just take out corruption. Corruption's gonna be there no matter what system you have, no matter what government. It could be any shape, fashion, or form that you wish. It's still gonna be corruption because you still have people. But I want to see what Tom Sal got to say about this, and if he agrees with me or has something different to add on. So let's get into it.
A plastic surgeon of Chinese ancestry in Sydney, Australia, may not sound like an average individual, but the moral of his story is all too common in countries around the world. Born in Malaysia, this plastic surgeon was in one of many high-level positions occupied by the Chinese minority and coveted by the Malay majority. Moreover, under the country's affirmative action policies, he understood that his days as a plastic surgeon were numbered. He took it all without bitterness, offering to stay on to treat disfigured children and others until a Malay plastic surgeon was available to replace him. But he missed the point. They wanted him out of there, whether or not there was a Malay to replace him, and whether or not disfigured people had anyone else to turn to. The surgeon relocated to Australia, where he was apparently doing quite well by the time I encountered him. The real victims of the Malaysian government's policies were still in Malaysia. This dog-in-the-manger approach is by no means peculiar to Malaysia. Envy of others' success and embarrassment at being visibly unable to match their performance have been political driving forces behind many programs of preferences and quotas. When Romania acquired additional territory from the defeated Central Powers after the First World War, it also acquired universities which were culturally either German or Hungarian. One of their top priorities was to get rid of the Germans and the Hungarians on the faculties and transform the universities into Romanian bastions. At that point, roughly three-quarters of all Romanians were still illiterate, so replacing these foreign professors with Romanians of comparable caliber was very unlikely. But replacement was not the issue. Getting rid of those who were better qualified was the issue. Despite all the zeal expended in converting German and Hungarian universities in the new provinces of Bukovina and Transylvania into Romanian universities, there was no urgency at all about creating a university in the province of Bessarabia, where none existed. Moreover, when Hungarian students living in Romania began going to Hungary to attend universities there, the Romanian government forbade them to do so. What is involved is not just envy. It is the threat to one's ego that is crucial in promoting dog-in-the-manger policies. When Nigeria became an independent nation back in the 1960s, many of the educated, skilled business and professional people in northern Nigeria were from tribes in southern Nigeria. One of the top priorities of northern Nigerian politicians was to get rid of such people. The hope was to replace them eventually with northern Nigerians. But in the meantime, the northern Nigerians wanted them out of there, even if they had to hire Europeans to replace them or suffer a deterioration of the services being performed by the southern Nigerians. Having Europeans in these occupations was far less of a threat to the ego than having fellow Africans so dramatically outperforming the locals. Such attitudes are not unknown in the United States, whether or not ethnic or racial differences are involved. The same dog in the manger can be found when the issue is class. Liberals have never ceased denouncing Ronald Reagan's tax cuts for the rich in the early 1980s, despite the actual results, including a record-breaking period of economic expansion. After the tax rate was cut on the highest income brackets and on others, not only did the total tax receipts rise, but the percentage of those receipts paid by the rich also rose. Why then were the liberals unhappy? Because those in the upper brackets paid these vastly greater taxes out of rising incomes, while retaining a higher percentage of those incomes for themselves. The dog in the manger principle requires that the rich be made worse off. Any policy that fails to do that has failed politically, regardless of what economic benefits it may bring to the society as a whole. While such attitudes are sufficiently widespread around the world that they cannot be attributed to a particular culture, neither are they inevitable. Very often, the key ingredient in the rise of explosive resentments is the rise of an intelligentsia preoccupied with invidious comparisons rather than general well-being. Ironically, all too often, the rich themselves have been the patrons of such intellectuals, whether at the universities, the foundations, or other institutions supported by their donations.
So Thomas Sowell came out of it like a completely, for the most part, different perspective than I was thinking of. But what he said does make sense because I'm of the opinion that if it helps everybody, then it's a good policy. I don't need it to hurt the rich for it to benefit me. If my income, my cost of living is improved, it's just an overall good thing. If other people are benefiting from it too, that's just good for everybody. That's good for the whole country. So this whole idea that the rich just need to suffer or pay more just so I don't have to, I don't agree with that completely. I want the rich to pay their fair share, but I don't know, I don't want to just punish people because they're successful. Because at the end of the day, I think everybody wants to be successful. They want to have a financially comfortable life. So the idea that I'm gonna be mad at somebody for having that when I'm trying to reach it and attain it too, it just sounds hypocritical. I'm not a fan of corruption. That could be economic, that could be political, and I do think that stuff does exist and we need to fix it. At the same time, it doesn't mean I want to just eat the rich, which is something that people really do say nowadays. They say get out the guillotines. When I did that reaction to like the liberal having a meltdown, like what, like 4 months ago at this point, it was just crazy how easily these people and just kill people because they have more money than them. It's straight up envy, hatred, and jealousy, and it's pathetic. And these people will take lies, spill blood just because of their insecurities. I'm not a fan of it. I'm a fan of getting out corruption, but I'm not a fan of just punishing people because they have money. Oftentimes, the same people that want to do that, they want power themselves. And they're going to use that power to get money if they already don't have money themselves. These people are mostly just hypocritical, angry, and resentful for their own lot on life. And I would just advise trying to prove it, put in more work, improve your skill set, make yourself more valuable so you can make more money, be more comfortable, and be more happy. That's really the only thing you can do. But being angry at other people, it's just not going to help you. Nothing going to change. It's just going to make you more upset, more depressed. You're not improving. You're not getting better. You're just suffering more. And you're doing it to yourself. And it's your own damn fault. But I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. It's your boy Logos. Like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you next time. Peace.